checks like Nike. Let me give you a good night kiss.
Here is a little life hack for you YouTubers. I buy these lights at the dollar store because I only have $1. And I light everything with them because they're pretty freaking, whoa, fluorescent. So, oh my god, I'm blue. What it do, baby?
Soldier boy, tell.
What's up, YouTube? It's Check Like Nike back with another video from Steph's Corner. This is going to be very controversial. This is going to be controversial. So for a season now, we've been hearing load management. I'd say last season, it was LeBron with the Cavs last season? No. So 2 seasons ago. Or was it when he was on the Lakers? No, maybe when he was on the Cavs. Anyway, for like maybe 2 seasons, maybe 1, maybe 3, I don't know. We've been hearing load management a lot. But this season, more than ever. Now, I gotta say, I'm actually losing a lot of respect for Kawhi Leonard. He proved himself as probably the greatest player in the league at, you know, top 3, top 5, I don't know, whatever you guys want to say. I'm kind of stuck in the 2010s. Alright, that wasn't a decade joke. That wasn't a decade joke. I know last video I made like 3. But basically what I'm saying is Kawhi is like one of the biggest faces in our league right now, and he is playing a part-time job. Why is everyone talking about load management? I remember the first time I heard LeBron take like 1 or 2 games off, I was like, load management? You're taking a day off of an 82 game season? Now I know that sounds like a lot, but like baseball players play double that. I believe this may have started last season when LeBron sat, and then the Toronto Raptors kind of hopped on board and were like, oh yeah, definitely Kawhi's not playing more than 68 games this season, and I don't believe he did. Now I'm a personal Mamba fan, so I say Kobe's the GOAT. I always will say Kobe's the GOAT because no one wants to hear me when I say Zach's the GOAT. So moral of the story is, how are you going to call yourself the greatest player of all time when you're not even playing? Why are the greatest players in the league, the so-called greatest athletes, the ones that are getting the most money, taking time off to manage their load? Now typically they come on back-to-back games and most likely against teams that you're not necessarily like forfeiting a win. Like if like the Clippers were playing the Knicks, Kawhi'd be like, I'm going to sit this one because, you know, it's the Knicks. Now you may just think it's, you know, to give their body a rest and give, you know, them a chance to, no, they're not just missing out on games. They're not traveling with the team. They're not working out with the team. They're not doing anything that is part of their so-called jobs as NBA player. Now the reason I said jobs was like that is because if you're not taking it seriously and you're taking days off, is it even a job to you? Now in the past, prior to this big load management shenanigans, there was a bit of DNP on the stat sheets, which means did not play, and it would, you know, if there's an injury, normally the stat sheet would say did not play, elbow, did not play, knee, you know, whatever the player had injured. But there was a period of time where players wouldn't play and it would say rest, as in a rest day, and you know, we saw that a few times with the Spurs, but has it gone too far? And honestly, it doesn't even really make sense. If you're allowed to take off because you need a break, 1, why are they doing it so often? And 2, where are the borderlines? Because Doc Rivers recently said Kawhi Leonard was doing great, and that ended up costing him $50,000 in a fine to the NBA, saying, why is he managing his load then? And the rules are very blurry. Do not get me wrong. I mean, why on earth would Doc Rivers get fined if the Clippers are allowed to be doing this? Now when it comes to a nationally televised game, the NBA is finding teams $100,000 for sitting healthy players. So where's the line between a legal load management, we can say, and an illegal one? Now I'm gonna pick on Kawhi here because he is the most prominent player when it comes to load management talks, especially coming off the season that he came off of with the game winner in the finals and then winning Toronto their first ring. Like, I would never imagine him wanting to come play the next season, 1, on a different team, and then 2, barely playing. Not to even mention the toll that this is taking on the TV networks and people's like lack of willingness to watch the games if the star player is sitting. And there's also the question of if it even helps these players. Have we seen a difference in Kawhi Leonard after he comes off of a load management night? No, I mean, Kawhi's Kawhi. Now, some players are defending it saying, I think Dame Lillard might have been the one that said, y'all don't know what Kawhi's going through, he's going through something, blah, blah, blah. And then there's other players that are defending it saying it can help in the long run, saying it can take like a 10-year career and make it longer because of the rest they got over time. But when you sign up to be an NBA player, you get to the league, you know you're playing an 82-game season. That's why so many players have such a hard time jumping from college to NBA, because of how much more you're traveling, how much more you're playing, how much more time you have on the court, like the size of the court. It's a whole different game. And you want to be a professional athlete, you have to be a professional athlete. I'm a huge NBA fan. It's all I think about during my day, if I'm being honest. But this load management thing is really getting to me, just because all of my favorite players have been such winners. Like, here, I'll take these two for example. I mean, you guys know Kobe, you know Mamba mentality. Kobe would never, ever, ever take a load management day off. The guy played with a broken hand. I mean, you would see him icing up on the bench and then get right back into the game. Kobe is Kobe, and I personally love players with that mentality, Mamba mentality. Zach LaVine played 6 or 7 minutes with a torn ACL. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want to leave the game. He doesn't want to leave the game unless he has to, and that was when he was a second to third option on the Timberwolves. Now you see him on the Bulls. He's trying to go for an 82-game season. Karl-Anthony Towns never missed a single game in his entire career until this season or last season after a car accident where he claims he wanted to get in the game and play, and the team said no. So that's what I'm saying. I tend to just like players, and it's not on purpose. It's not what I look for when I'm choosing my favorite players, I guess. It's just something that I find admirable about NBA players, or about any athlete for that matter. I just watch basketball. And I'm not here to really pick on Kawhi for this season. I mean, he did it last season and they won a championship. Was there any correlation? I mean, who's to say? Like I said, some people are going along with it. The Wizards head coach said he's fine with it. He likes the idea of load management. As for Mark Cuban, he also likes it. As for the Knicks head coach, he said it's absolute crap. When it comes down to your star players overworking themselves in losing games, I can understand, but I can understand you sitting them, you know, in the fourth quarter. You're going to lose, you're winning by 20, you're losing by 20. Sit your star player, take away risk of injury, give them some time to rest up for the next game. That is understandable, and that's been around for so many years. I don't know where this load management crap came from, and I agree with the Knicks head coach. It's crap. Where was this rule 10 years ago when I started watching basketball? I never heard the term load management until my recent years of life. Some people are saying that Kawhi Leonard has perfected the load management thing, while others are saying he's kind of ruining the NBA, because you know how the NBA goes. One guy gets away with it and they all do it.
Wanna do it, then we all gotta do it.
In the past 2 seasons, Kawhi has missed out on 17 games due to load management, 13 of which were back-to-backs, so I guess it's understandable that it would be a back-to-back thing. And part of me thinks that maybe this is the whole reason that they might be shortening that regular season in the NBA, which I'm also opposed to. This also is giving the image that the NBA players don't care about the fans and don't care about who's spending money to go out and see them. I mean, how devastated are fans when they buy tickets and then it turns out their favorite player is injured that night, or the star player is injured that night, and 2 star players aren't going head-to-head in a major game, in a televised game? Why are we even watching? Now, there's no numbers I have for this specific season yet, as the season is still going on, but as for the 2018-19 season, 7% of the top NBA players were missing games due to rest, aka load management. Now, how is this ruining the NBA? I do think this is an issue in the league, and I do think that the NBA should be fining these players. I mean, they fined Doc Rivers just for saying something about it when Kawhi was supposedly fined, but then how are we allowing it? And it doesn't make any sense. If you guys understand it, please tell me down below. If you guys think this is a good idea, please tell me why down below. I personally don't, and I don't think any of you will have good enough reasoning to change my mind, so try it. But honestly, I told you the type of mentality I like. You're being a professional athlete, act like one. Don't be taking days off. No play, no pay. That's my rule. If you're not playing, you shouldn't be getting paid what you're getting paid to sit out. It's ridiculous. Now, Kawhi claims he would never have gotten that championship and never been the player he is today without it. And I mean, we have to give credit where credit is due. Greg Popovich is the one who perfected this craft, and Kawhi is a former Spur. So maybe now that he's kind of grown to be a better and bigger player, you know, more face of the league, he has taken it into his own hands and is turning it into something that was given to him back in the earlier 2010s, and he's now taking it into the new decade and the rest of his career as something he is going to perfect and other players are eventually going to copy, which in result will ruin the league. So that's all I have to say, but I do want to know your guys' opinions down below. Again, if you guys agree with this, please explain to me why. And if you guys disagree, that means you're agreeing with me, which means I like that. So if you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you would like to be notified every time I post a video from Steph's Corner or anything else NBA related, hit that bell button and turn on post notifications and you will be alerted every time I upload. So as usual, like, comment, and subscribe to keep me going and keep me uploading. Like I said, I'm trying to upload a lot more this season. I will see you guys again soon. So until next time, Nike out.
Nigga, get your ass checked like a fucking Nike.